I may or may not need to warn you that you may see some vanilla, heavy whipping cream, and pudding mix scattered throughout my hair. I put my blender, it's a handheld blender that you hold in there, and sometimes if you don't have it just right and you turn it on, it flings it everywhere. You probably can't see it on my shirt any, but I can feel it. It went all over the place. I had to wipe my face, wipe my shirt, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta do a video. And so I did the best I could and touched up my makeup a little bit. It even hit me in the eye. I want to talk a little bit about what happens when a loved one crosses over. These things I know for a fact because as a medium, when I'm talking to somebody and I know that a loved one of theirs has passed over, and I have to add this, if the timing is right, meaning that the one that crossed over is ready to let themselves be known to me and they have a message. Now, sometimes I can know that I'm talking to somebody and I know their loved one has crossed over, but I don't get that being coming to me like normal. So it depends on me and the one that's crossed over about the connection. And so some of this information I know is accurate and true only because what I've been through, that in that sense. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because I have a coworker who has had a loved one pass recently. And you're always trying to think of something to soothe them, and you just can't say anything to make that situation better to them. So the best thing that you can do is listen to what they have to say and let them know that you're there for them. But for this particular friend, their one that crossed over, their loved one that has crossed over, didn't come to me. And one reason why is because I felt uncomfortable of letting that friend know what I can do. If the one that's crossed over knows this, they know everything because they're on the other side, and I know that for a fact, and they can read your mind too. So I thought about it because I know sometimes if I'm aware of a person crossing over, or the one who crossed over knows that I'm ready, they'll present themselves. That sounded jumbled, so I hope that it made sense. And I'm sorry if it didn't, because you know how I am with wording things. These things I can tell you. But first I want to add also that sometimes I get intuitive or symbolism, as in they can do this for heart or caring, or even this, you know, the heart symbol. Glasses, they will show themselves to me as a picture I have seen of them that makes me aware of who they are. Also, that does not always happen. I've had 3 instances where a loved one had crossed over and they presented themselves to me, and then they were later told to me that what I saw was accurate. Although some of these loved ones that cross over can pass in a traumatic way, but know that once they have passed and crossed over, they are in a much better place, loving, no health issues, nothing, and they're vibrant and they're youthful and they're just full of energy, and they feel free and not so heavy, because you tend to feel heavy on earth. That's one thing. 2 is they don't want you to grieve over them. And they often wonder, why would they grieve over them crossing? Because they're in a better place. But, you know, we question that. That's our loved one. We want to be sure that they're safe and happy. Let's just say a relative of mine crossed over, and I'm grieving and grieving and grieving. When you're thinking about them in that manner, they will tend to come around, and they can go in more than one place at the same time. And they tend to hover around you in hopes that they can comfort you. And you're grieving, you don't realize that. You don't even feel that. But then a part of you wants to test that theory. Are they around? Do I feel them? Are they here? But if you really calm yourself, sometimes you can tell. Or if you're like me, if it's a message for me, or I'm wanting an acknowledgement of something for me, when it concerns me, I can't tell. I can't hear, I can't, nothing, because it's about me. For instance, if I want a yes or no question and I hope the answer is yes, I'm not going to hear the answer because I'm hoping for a yes, and they can be saying no, but I'm still saying yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean? They also tend to hang around for a while until they know that you're getting over that major traumatic grieving process. Sometimes they will become your guide for a while, and they'll guide you sometimes to the end of your life and sometimes just for a little while, because there's times where they feel like, okay, now in my contract with them, I agreed that when I crossed over, I would be their guide and then guide them rest of the way, or guide them to a certain point. That's another thing. But I want to also quickly add that they are within a thought distance away. If you sit there and think of their name, bam, they're there like lightning. They don't take 20 minutes to get there. There's no time limit. They're there. And if you're thinking about them, like, let's just say I'm in a recliner and I'm thinking about my loved one, and I'm like, I really hope they're in a better place. I hope they're happy. I can't help but wonder about them. They're going to be there and they're going to be listening to you because they can hear your thoughts. And if you pay attention, sometimes you can feel. And like I said, sometimes you can't. But know that I know for a fact that yes, if you're thinking about them, they're there. And they may linger. They may stop and think, okay, now they're done thinking about me. I'm going to go do my thing or whatever. And they're doing their thing. They're learning, they're educating themselves even further. Yes, there's libraries on the other side, things to learn, or they could be living in a house of their choosing because they can manifest it on the other side and they're happy. They're spending time with their other loved ones on the other side in this house. They could be visiting and having a grand time. Or they could be traveling the world because they can do that. They can go all over the place. When you're a soul, you're many things. So know that the one that's crossed over is always around you. Even if they abused you, like your mom, like my mom. Let's just say my mom, when she crosses over, she's gonna get a life review. When she sees of the things that she let happen to me and the things that she has done to me, she will regret it. And that's a fact. And then she will come around me. She's always threatened me that she will haunt me. I can almost guarantee that when she crosses over, she is going to have to heal her soul before she comes around. If she doesn't, she'll be one of these ghosts that lingers around the earth and cannot go any further until she's ready. And then, she'll probably come and haunt me, but I don't care. It used to scare me as a kid, but now the person who I've become, I don't care. I will see her because I see all of these spirits, but she will come around because she will feel guilty. And she can't make amends to me because we're not connected. And when I cross over, we will meet up unless she reincarnates. But she won't so fast because she has to heal her soul because she's been through a lot of trauma and she has caused a lot of trauma. So when it goes both ways like that, your soul goes to what's called the healing place. And it sits there and it kind of like slumbers. You're not awake in there bouncing off the walls. You're actually kind of like a slumbering. And it can take anywhere from a day to months, to years, to hundreds of years. It just depends on how much trauma you go through. And then once the soul is healed, then it comes out of the healing place. And then it goes and does what it's supposed to do, whether it be learning more, whether it becoming a guide for somebody, or whatever. They could be a teacher on the other side, a healer. I don't think there's any limits, but I think I know that if there's more for you to learn, as in my mom, she will have to come back to Earth. She will reincarnate in the same life, different time era, but the same life. She'll get abused again, and she'll have kids again. She has to correct herself. She has to become a better mom. She has to get over her trauma herself and become a better person and lead a better life. And I saw Nat. And once she does, then when she crosses over, she'll be all the better. So that's the kind of a crossing that I wanted to mention. And there's so many ways that a soul will cross. I will say, let's just say, well, like my mom, I'm just going to throw that back out there. I'm going to know that when she dies, she will probably linger for a while, because she's probably scared that when she crosses over, she's going to get punished. But once she comes out of that, and me saying this, I know she watches my videos, when she realizes that she needs to get healing from that, she will go to the resting place. But she won't go there until she's ready, and she will linger. The people who unalives other people, the people who unalives themselves, they are the ones that tend to linger around the earth because they're afraid that they're going to be punished. If your parent is that way, know that they're not going to come around and haunt you, because it's not possible. And one, I will say, if your thought process is in a good place, as in you've got yourself protected and you're not going to let bad in your life, you're not going to be traumatized like that, then it's not going to happen. Now, when I was a kid and that thought process that I was in, and I didn't even know who I was, as in a starseed hybrid, then she probably would have the ability to haunt me, as she says. But as you know, and as I've said in my videos, the bad entities can't go into my doorway. They can't go through my doorway. I'm not scared. I don't have fear. And they know that. And they know that they cannot enter without my permission. So, that's proof right there. So my mom can try all she wants to come and haunt me, like she's always threatened me, but she can't. I see her and I might feel her, but for her to come and try to scare me or do harmful things, she can't, because I'm protected. By myself, I should say, as well as my guides and my star family, I'm like really protected. So, and you can be too. Just ask your guides to protect you. Surround yourself in the white light, and know in your head and your heart that you are protected, and no soul or being can hurt you unless you allow them to. So if you go to bed every night and you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared, so-and-so is going to come and they're going to scare me and I'm so scared, then it's bound to happen. If you go to bed and you're like, okay, I'm protected, nobody, and I don't even go to bed like this every single day. I know that I'm protected, and I know I'm safe. I know I'm secure. So, and that fact of knowing helps me. And I know my guides have got me and my star family. So this is a long video. I hope I covered all the topics, but I want you to know that your loved ones aren't going through trauma on the other side unless they want to be causing themselves trauma. And they will be around you when you grieve and you're sad or you're thinking about them. They will always come around, no doubt. Even if they haven't they've crossed over, but they haven't went to the resting place yet, and they need to be, but they're lingering. Even then, when you think about them, they will come and try to comfort you, because that's what they do on the other side. Unless you're a person going around unaliving people, but still they want to come and help because they feel your sadness. But they are kept here on Earth because Earth is a lower vibrational planet than others. So they're usually kept here to watch the same trauma they've inflicted on others. And then eventually they go to the resting place and so forth. So I hope that this was interesting for you. I thought about this and this was on my list, and I probably touched base on it a little bit in the past, but I thought about it at work and I thought, well, I can just add to that. If you have any questions on everything that I've just said, feel free to comment below and I will answer you. And I don't know everything, and I will say that, but there's a lot that I do know of concerning that. So I hope you're having a good day, and I love you, as you already know. And I'm sending you love, light, and peace. Bye.